Welcome to the welcome to the third video in this series where I'm going to cover the insurance piece to our mortgage-free life strategy. We use what's called an indexed universal life policy, or an IUL for short. It's a type of permanent life insurance that builds cash value. This allows us to accomplish things that are just not possible in other financial products. Retire like the wealthy. The goal of this part of the strategy is to secure a tax advantaged retirement income like the ultra rich do. Today, we're talking about the most misunderstood product in all of the financial services. It's the secret weapon that secures retirement benefits through contractual guarantees. America's ultra rich all take advantage of this. People like the top executives of companies like United Healthcare, JP Morgan, General Electric, and even the Federal Reserve all use this strategy. This shows you how to turn your mortgage payment into a new stream of tax advantage retirement income. As I stated earlier, the largest banks and Fortune 500 companies all use cash value life insurance, not to get rich, but to secure their retirement benefits and income. I'll be honest, this product does have a bad reputation, and it's because not everyone knows how to structure and sell these policies correctly. So that's why I encourage everyone to do their own research. It's so you can make a decision from an informed place and mitigate that risk of getting taken advantage of. The proof. All of this information can be found. It's as simple as Googling your favorite company's name and adding annual proxy statement next to it. I pulled an example from NVIDIA's 2024 proxy statement and I added it to this slide where it shows a real life example of people actually using this strategy. You've got Miss Kress with 4,900, Mr. Puri with 39,000, Miss Showquist with 15,000, and Mr. Tedder with 4,900. As you can see, even high income earners have different levels of education when it comes to insurance and its advantages. The difference between Ms. Kress and Mr. Puri clearly showcases this. If you're interested in learning more about this on your own, you can read these three books. You've got Pirates of Manhattan 1 and 2, and Guaranteed Income, all by Barry James Dyke. Now, let's go over a few examples from these books. We've got former ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson. He retired with $2 million in a pension annuity through life insurance companies. He received an additional $21 million in supplemental pension benefits and has an additional payment plan valued at $38 million according to the proxy filings. Next, you've got Brian Roberts, the sitting CEO of Comcast. He owns $223 million in split dollar life insurance with a total cash value that's over $125 million. Split dollar just means that it was a shared cost between the employer and the employee. Third, we've got Ken Lewis, the former CEO of Bank of America. He had a retirement package that includes a $10 million cash value insurance policy, and in addition, he'll receive over $3 million a year from a joint annuity he owns that's worth $53 million. Here's a list of other executives that are mentioned in these books, and I know these numbers are large, but the thing to note here is that these executives are using life insurance to secure their retirement benefits and to protect their income during their working years. Should any of them pass away, They know their families are going to be taken care of. When an income earning family member passes away, the family they leave behind is oftentimes burdened with the responsibility of making up for that lost income. These policies shift that burden from the family over to the life insurance company. So, does this work for me? On the front end, our mortgage free life strategy helps people pay off their homes faster. But on the back end, we're creating a tax advantage retirement income that pays out every year starting at the age of 65. In this example here, our client was originally supposed to pay $140,000 in interest, and they had 18 years or 217 payments left to make. By implementing this strategy, we were able to cut down that interest to 66,000 or 68, excuse me, thousand and pay off the home in a little over 5 years. As much as I love this because it is very cool, the thing I want to highlight is that we were able to create $71,000 of retirement income every year. This ends up being about $5,900 a month, but let's look at another example. In this second one, the client was supposed to pay almost $500,000 in interest and had 28 years left on the mortgage. We reduced the interest paid to $155,000 and it'll be paid off in just under 8 years. On top of that, we were able to create $311,000 in retirement income every year, which translates to about $25,000 a month. In this third example, the client was scheduled to pay $380,000 in interest and actually had just purchased their home. Switching from a mortgage to the mortgage-free loan reduced the amount of interest they paid to $194,000, and the home will be paid off in just over 8.5 years. This also created $173,000 of annual retirement income, which turns out to be $14,000 a month. That's what makes this strategy so special. You can count on this in addition to any other income you might be expecting, like Social Security or even retirement distributions you might have set up. It's something to give you more confidence when stepping into your retirement. Our strategy shows you how to take what was your mortgage payment and create numbers that some believe are just too good to be true. A big reason why people feel this way is because of a lack of information, but that's what I'm aiming to fix with this video here. Here are the top 4 reasons for using insurance. You've got the tax advantage growth in income. It's conservative, safe, and consistent growth of about 5 to 7% annually. And this is allowed through the section 7702 of the IRS tax code. It's what allows all of these things to be possible, and it's been around for over 100 years. You've got the healthcare benefits through the accelerated death benefit, long-term care rider, or a combination of the two. Eventually, when you have that long-term care event that costs a couple $100,000, the insurance company will pay you a portion of your death benefit up front so you can live comfortably. Third, you'll have superior risk management. So during the Great Depression, about 10,000 different banks failed, while over 99% of insurance companies stayed in business. And then fourth, you've got stability through contractual agreements. So your balance is protected from participating in market losses due to that 0% floor that's written into the contract. So let's talk about fees, since that's usually the first issue people have with insurance. And again, cash value life insurance is largely misunderstood, and a big reason why it gets its negative reputation is from its commission structure. The agent selling it or this product makes their commission up front, which is different from working with financial advisors that manage your retirement accounts. Again, insurance commissions are paid to the agent as a one time upfront fee, where financial advisors that have assets under management collect a recurring fee for the life of the relationship with the client. This fee can range anywhere between a quarter of a percent to upwards of 2%. And I know it doesn't sound like much, but those small numbers make a really big impact during retirement. And all of this is going to be illustrated in our next slide. Those that are overly critical of insurance, like the Dave Ramseys of the world, love to talk about that initial 10-year period where the fees are actually higher, but they fail to mention that it's because it's an upfront payment. So if you're committed to this for less than 10 years, this might not actually be a good idea for you. However, if you're committed to this plan for a lifetime, my opinion is that it's worth looking into adding this to your portfolio. So here's why. This product can be looked at as a combination of a Roth IRA and a bank account. Money goes in, a portion of it goes towards the cost of the actual life insurance, and then the difference starts to build cash value at that growth rate of the 5 to 7% on average. Unlike a retirement account that's locked up until you're 59 and a half, your money stays completely available to you. It's your money, so you can take it out of the account whenever you want for whatever you want. You maintain complete control. Now, to compare the two, the growth and income in both accounts are going to be tax advantaged, which is nice. But I would say the biggest difference between the two is going to be found in the contribution limits. For a Roth IRA, the government enforces the contribution limit. And this is because they don't want everyone paying their taxes up front. It's more lucrative for the tax or for you to pay taxes at that 22% tax rate on the higher dollar amount you've accumulated during your retirement than on those small upfront contributions. When you use cash value accumulating life insurance, it's the insurance company that determines how much you're allowed to contribute. This figure is based on what they believe you can comfortably afford according to your personal finances. Additionally, I want to talk about the power of indirect recognition loans. This simple concept is the reason why life insurance generates 2 to 300% more cash flow than a 401k. It allows you to pull out income by way of the policy loans, but what makes this product different is that your cash value secures the loan and continues to grow as if the money never left the account. Insurance companies have something called a general fund that they use to provide the cash for these policy loans. It doesn't actually ever come out of your account. Your cash value continues to participate in the growth of the index it's invested in as if you never touched it, which is a very unique feature not found in any other products. So imagine going to the bank and saying you want to withdraw $1,000 from your account, but you don't want it to come out of your balance. I promise you, the teller is going to look at you like you have three heads. When it comes to distributions, the value of your account will decrease every time you withdraw from your 401k or your IRA because that's just how it traditionally works. Financial advisors will argue that you can safely pull out around 4%. And if the market goes up 6%, you shouldn't run out of money because the difference between the two is a positive 2%. Now, in theory, It is true. However, there are still other risk factors at play, like sequence of returns and long term care exposure. With sequence of returns risk, when you take distributions during market downturns, it creates a double negative. And this accelerates how quickly you run out of money. If you look at the chart on the left, Investor 1 experiences back to back losses in the first 2 years of their retirement. As you can see, they end up running out of money in year 18. But then you have Investor 2 who also experiences those back to back losses. Instead, they happen in years 10 and 11. And as you can see, their retirement is going to last much longer, even after the losses. So when you pull your money out actually matters, and that's not talked about enough. Here's another example. Your account has a starting balance of 100,000 and you experience a 20% loss in your account. That new balance is going to be 80,000. Now being generous, let's say the market quickly recovers and you have a 20% gain in your account. Your balance is only going to be 96,000, which makes your actual return on the year a 4% loss. This doesn't even account for when and if you need to take those required minimum distributions. So it basically forces you into those losses. Now, let's talk about long term care. What experiences have you had where a family member has had a need for long term care? Things like hospitalization, living in a nursing home, or even having a caretaker. And how do you plan to cover those expenses in their likely event? On the left is a chart that shows the probability a 65-year-old will develop minimal, moderate, or severe long term care needs, according to their marital statuses. Boston College, which is where this chart is from, published a brief in 2021 that found 80% of all Americans 65 or older are going to develop a need for some type of long term care. You've got the white, where you don't require any long term care. You've got gray for minimal long term care, tan for the moderate, and then red for severe. Looking at the positives, the good news is about 20% of us won't have any need for long term care. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services also published a brief that found an individual who pays for 1 year of care will spend around $120,000 on average. That's definitely something to think about. Since we have the understanding that there is an 80% chance you will have to deal with a long term care event, a question we have to answer is, how do you plan to pay for that? The problem with depending on your retirement accounts and your home's equity is that it puts you in a fear based decision making mindset because your top priority will be to make sure you don't run out of money. And in my experience, the best way to pay for long term care is to shift the financial burden from your family over to the life insurance company. What sets cash value permanent life insurance apart from other financial products is the tax advantage retirement income, but it's also in the fact that it covers the three long term care needs of terminal, chronic, and critical illness. Naturally, this plan comes with a death benefit because it is a life insurance policy. And in my professional opinion, this product is the superior choice when securing your income and comparing it to 401ks, IRAs, and even the stock market. But to be clear, I am an advocate for putting your dollars to work in the market, but what I find is more important is to follow what the smart money is doing and protect as much of your retirement income as possible. The fact that banks and Fortune 500 companies choose it over and over and over again proves the power of this strategy. So, to recap, this isn't the end all be all, but it is an extremely valuable asset that the wealthiest families in the world use to protect themselves from market downturns and to amplify their wealth when passing it to future generations. If you want to turn your mortgage payment into a cash flowing asset like this, let's see the impact this can make in your life. The founders of Mortgage Free Life have a special saying: it's not magic, it's math. To put it plainly, we're not guessing when it comes to this. It's all deliberately calculated, and it has the potential to completely transform your retirement. I hope you found serious value in this video, and I hope it gets your mind thinking, because most people just follow the status quo, and you have an opportunity to become part of a small group of people that makes one simple decision to change their whole life. I'm looking forward to talking to you, checking out your numbers, and seeing if this is a right fit for you. Thank you, and have a great day.